The other side on LeafGreen, we have Kerrigan, Oriole, and Teriel. Oriole is a good pairing with Kerrigan, and so is Teriel. Of course, when she jumps in, she needs protection, she needs time for her shields to work, and Sanctification can give her that. Move speed also benefits her greatly, which Teriel gives her. And if worse comes to worse, Oriole has the Aegis to save her, so very good synergy there. Now, I'm wondering if the first two picks for Obsidian, even though with Malfurion's interfate changes, doesn't work with Zarya. You can't cast it on her because she doesn't use any mana. So she's an energy-based hero, and her energy she gets from the enemy damaging shielded characters. Now, of course, she can shield herself and a target on a cooldown, and I think it was patched today that the cooldown's reduced. So it should be easier for her to gain energy, and of course the decay goes away later. So, but Malfurion and Zarya by themselves don't have any synergy, so we'll see. It'd be interesting to see what they pick. Now the bans, I forgot to mention bans. Li Ming, very good on this map, of course. She can delay for a long time from over walls and such like that. Falstad for the map pressure, just the split soak advantage. Thrall is a very good solo laner, so very good staying at the bottom lane. Also, maybe LeafGreen has a player who's just very comfortable with Thrall, and they scouted that. And Butcher is one of the kind of controversial picks, I think, of this patch, because, I mean, he recently went through the rework, but even though he was kind of dominating pubs for a while, he kind of fell off quite a bit now. I think people have just kind of realized that you can still just stun him and kill him outright, so and then kite him after. So I'm not sure about the Butcher ban. Could be, once again, they realize it's a comfort pick from Obsidian. Maybe they did their research and they've been winning with Obsidian has been winning a lot with him lately. Maybe it goes well with the Zarya shield. So that's what happened there. So Sylvanas and Tacit are coming out. Now, this is kind of a very defensive team. They've got 2 shielders and a healer. It's going to be hard to kill anyone from Obsidian Gaming, which is, of course, what Kerrigan needs to do. When she jumps in, she almost has no escape, so going back out is hard for her. So we'll see what happens with that. Kind of who can outlast who, because you have Oriole and Teriel protecting Kerrigan when she jumps in, but then you have Tassadar, Zarya, and Malfurion protecting the jumped target. So maybe with some good coordination, Zul and Kerrigan and the remaining DPS, I assume, Tychus, can focus down a target that isn't being shielded if Obsidian happens to shield one target, happens to stack their shields. And then it'll be on cooldown, and then you can try and switch targets and burst someone else down. But Tychus and Zul aren't really that bursty, so oh man, I don't know how LeafGreen plans to approach the team fight. Maybe they're just trying to play an attrition war with Oriole. The crown on Tychus could be quite powerful for that, but Obsidian has Malfurion on their side and Tassadar on their side, and they are great attrition heroes. Tassadar, of course, outputs some of the highest single target healing in the game. And then Illidan, oh, I love this pick. With all this protection, they are picking kind of the Superman. So with all these shields, Illidan will have no fear, can just go in. You know, he's already hard to kill, already hard to hit with skill shots. With all these shields and a silence to protect him, he might never die this game. Of course, Tassadar and Illidan are both weak in the early game, so there is a chance that with the early game advantage, Zul and Kerrigan, LeafGreen can run away with this early. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so everyone is in the lobby. We're ready to get the show on the road. And looking at these teams, so the burden of engagement, this is something I like to talk about, is kind of different for this map, I guess, because whoever arrives at the altar, whoever's channeling the altar, forces the other team to sort of engage, or at least put themselves in a closer spot than they might want to be. And so it's difficult to call this one, and neither of them have amazing poke. I would say they have equal poke, so the burden of engagement is kind of on whichever team is not channeling an altar, essentially. But it seems like LeafGreen does have the heavier dive comp, and once Zool commits, he can't get out, whereas almost all the characters on Obsidian can get out, and they have good saves to try and get out. So I think Obsidian Gaming's lineup is easier to execute, so I have to favor them as long as they don't fall behind in the race to 10 too much, or in the race to 13 too much. If they don't give up too much of an advantage early game, and they can make it to the mid game and later on when Illidan should basically be invincible, they should have a good time. This is my prediction. And of course, Towers of Doom being a map that is kind of guaranteed to go a bit later. Very rarely do you see very short games on Towers of Doom. That is probably a good strategy for them, a good lineup for them to have picked. And here we go. This is, again, Chair League Division 2 game between LeafGreen and Obsidian. I believe LeafGreen just placed into this division, so they're not going to have a record yet. And since it's Swiss format, I'm guessing they matched up with another another team that just got placed here. All right, here we go. Introducing the teams. On the blue team, on LeafGreen, Raven X on Kerrigan, Sidor on Oriole, Ice on Zool, Teddy Bear on Tyrael, and J-Rad on Tychus. On Obsidian, we have Deltef on Zarya, Kale on Malfurion, Tim on Sylvanas, Confliction on... Wait, hold on. That's Malfurion. Confliction on Malfurion. Grape Juice on Tassadar, and Kale on Illidan. Boy, those two look very similar. Skins. Sorry, I've never seen those ones. Okay. And color scheme and everything. Look at how well matched they are with their mounts, except for Zarya. That one's failing us. Okay, so they're going for the 5-man cheese up top. This is a very common strategy. And excuse me while I lower the game sounds a bit. They're quite loud in my ear. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so, and they lost no one on the way out from their initial Sylvanas 5-man cheese. And this is a very good way, if you have Sylvanas, to just freely take one tower. They even got a bit greedy and went for some extra damage on the gate and the bottom tower, but that didn't matter. So they didn't get caught out, so good job for them. That is just all free damage. A couple of them had to tap maybe, and now they're rotating for mid. Now last time we saw that LeafGreen kept Zool in the bottom lane solo, and therefore just didn't capitalize on what Azul is supposed to do early game, which is clear up 2 lanes kind of by himself, or gank and clear up 2 lanes in a 4-man rotation. So it looks like they totally switched it up here. They're leaving Tyrael solo and Tychus solo, and they're rotating 3 people. And that is a way better strategy. And let's see, Zarya picks maximum charge. Great Gen Globes now grant 20 energy. Okay, that's interesting. We'll see if she pays attention and grabs the globes before fights and such. And, you know, dip out to grab fights. Because I don't know how long this lasts. It doesn't say how long this lasts. So, Okay, so up here in the shrine, we see Kerrigan channeling while everyone's holding everything in this off. We got a one-on-one matchup here with Zul versus versus Sylvanas. They're both just kind of waiting for their teams to rotate, so we're going to see a 5v5 on the bottom shrine, or bottom altar, which is kind of unusual. Usually, one team just kind of comes ahead on this phase. Anyway, here we go. Illidan's diving right on in with his shields. Oh my goodness, Raven X got destroyed. A two-man root from Malfurion is beautiful. Look at all these shields go to work. Look at how healthy Obsidian's team is. And this, oh my goodness. And I said that LeafGreen would have the early game advantage, but they're just getting wrecked with all the shields. And this shield strategy is one way, I guess, kind of Zarya fits comps. There were a lot of questions about how she could fit into team comps, and everyone's been theorizing she was going to go in a double tank comp, but here we see her as a solo tank with another shielder and another healer, just to keep everyone alive, just making sure no one dies. I'll be interested to see if any of them die this game, if that's the way fights go. Wow, I did not expect it to go that heavily in favor of Obsidian in that first fight. With early game powerhouses like Zul and Kerrigan, oh my goodness, that's super unexpected. Now they're going to take the top camp, and we see very common picks from the more common heroes. Let's see, Malfurion went rampant growth, Shando's clarity, no surprise there. Now, sorry, give me 20. Regen Globes increase shield ally absorb amount by 15 up to 300 permanently. So once again, going more shields, more energy. So regen globes is really her thing right now. Psionic pulse and sharpened blades. Okay. And then new Tyrael, of course, Tyrael's level 1 traits has been diversed a little bit. So you see run and gun taken, or press the advantage taken for Tyrael, for Tychus. And into the rhythm, which is interesting. But of course, bigger they are is not going to help against this many shields, so it totally makes sense. And here we see fairly standard ones. Backlash from Zul, trying to do more damage. Now, with the proper shielding from Zarya, that can just end up giving her a lot of damage instead. So a little bit risky. They don't have level 7 LeafGreen. They're just going to try to stall this out. Kerrigan was still soaking. Now they have level 7, so they can try for a fight, but their whole team's not there yet, and Teddy Bear's already at half health. Let's see how long they can delay this. They do have the positional advantage because they're closer to their side, but look at, once again, they're down so much health. At least it looks like Sylvanas could be caught here. No, they don't want to chase further, but Tyrael's going to end up dying anyway, and even in death, almost got shielded. The shield just ran out, but it doesn't matter. 4 go down all day. They're all going to be dead. J-Rad is going to be the last man standing. He is going to live to tell the tale. Oh, Illidan getting a bit ballsy there, taking a lot of damage, but he's going to still stay alive at the end. And now we see it's a pretty significant core health lead for Obsidian, but it's not insurmountable. Of course, Towers of Doom is a map which sees a lot of comebacks and a lot of crazy comebacks that can happen, because as long as you have 1 health left on your core, you can absolutely try to control the map, chain some deaths, grab all the altars, grab boss, grab all the bell towers, and completely come back into this game. It's not uncommon to see basically a 14 health phase erased, or 14 damage dealt in 1 altar phase. Of course, the 5th altar phase is also going to have 3 altars, so that's another... the 3rd altar phase has 3 altars as well, so that could be another way they could try to catch up, just try to aim for that one. But they're going to be down level 10, so they're going to have to be very careful for the next few minutes, try not to fall behind even more. Of course, Illidan works so well from ahead, and with all the shielding, he's going to be tough to bring down. And these camps are being escorted by Sylvanas. It got her a tower, that's fine, but not really a big deal. Oh, she uses a wailing arrow to save herself. That was a great play, actually. I'm not sure it was worth it, especially if altars come out before the cooldown happens, but you know, it did keep the level 10 advantage, so you can see that LeafGreen is still not reaching level 10, but it looks like they will hit level 10 before the next altar, which is what matters. And I wonder if we're going to see Odin from Tychus. Of course, Odin did get buffed. You're now resistant as Odin. Oh, that pick just before the altar comes up. No. No, Tychus. Oh, LeafGreen can't be happy about this. Oh my goodness, they are double root. Oh my god, Malfurion just keeps getting 2 people in this root. Of course, roots are easy. Malfurion roots are easier to land since the change, because I think they reduced the onset time to like 0.25 seconds. It's so easy to hit now, and he's hitting it on multiple people every time. LeafGreen still trying to fight this, of course. They're not going to be able to get it, but they do land their heroics. No, he does go the laser. And of course, they're just going to get away from the laser because they've already got the altar. They don't need to fight this. So committing a couple of ults there, Sanct and Laser and Maelstrom, to this fight that Obsidian didn't have to take. So that's one of the problems with laser, and that's one of the ways you always like to strategize against it. I always tell my team, if there's a Tychus on the other team, if he picks laser and he drops it, we just kite it. Same thing with Sanct. So the way to defeat 2 of their ultimates is to just run away from it and not fight, and then you can come back in and engage. So they did that perfectly. Great job by Obsidian so far. I have never casted this team before, but they're impressing me with their coordination and short calling so far, and their rotations have been kind of smooth. So they're escorting these camps as they should. One of my pet peeves, of course, with pubs is that they'll often take these camps and then not come down and escort them, so they end up doing nothing. They just get cleared. So you always want to escort these camps so that they do more to do the damage you captured them for. All right, so. There looks like Obsidian is going to hit 13 first. Any other skills? We see Hunter's Onslaught. Oh, never mind. There's a fight going on. And no, it was Kerrigan being caught. And there's the Aegis going down, but it's still not going to save him. Zul, of course, has no escape. If he is that deep, he is likely killing everyone or dying. Those are the only 2 options. And actually, we see Zul took Poison Nova. I wonder if that's the best choice. It looks like Oriel's in a lot of trouble here. She doesn't have any energy to heal herself, but the security perimeter keeps her alive and drives Illidan away. However, it looks like they're going to have to give up this altar once again. And aside from one of the first altar on their side, they haven't been able to get any altar. And this is looking more and more grim for LeafGreen. Oh my goodness. And look at this. Illidan is just diving in with no fear. He knows. With Tassadar shields, with Zarya shields, with that huge hot from Malfurion, there's just no way. And look at all this energy that Zarya is gaining because the Bone Prison is so telegraphed. And oh, look, they're bursting down Zarya. She gets the double shield and she's not even gonna die. Oh my goodness, they're all so low actually though. Looks like Malfurion's gonna go down on top of Zarya, and it looks like they stayed too long. They got a little too overconfident, and level 13 is now within reach for LeafGreen. Of course, they should they're down one bell tower still, so they gotta clear that up. That's not gonna be too hard for them though, with a couple down. Oh wow. Okay, so they took that fight, which is unexpected. At some point, I actually wondered if LeafGreen was going to be able to kill anyone, and they did. So that is the first step of like a 12-step program. Sorry, ignore that hero slain. That's a bug right now if you don't know. Anytime a structure is taken down, or sorry, a fort or keep is taken down, it reports that a hero was killed. I think the last hero killed, in fact, so ignore that. Nimble Defender, that level 13 for Illidan, just making him even harder to kill. And Endurance Training for Zarya. Take a note that Zarya did take Expulsion Zone, which I did not... which I think is probably the better ult right now. Of course, she could have grouped them together for a huge Wailing Arrow with her other ults. But Expulsion Zone on a channel objectives map like this is probably very powerful. You could just zone people out of the objective. Oh my goodness, look at that huge Wailing Arrow! Wow, the Poison Nova does a lot of damage, but Kerrigan and Zool, both the melee melee assassins, sort of, both fall down. Tyrael's, even in death, is going to do a little bit of damage, but looks like they're going to have to give up possibly all the altars left. If I were LeafGreen, I would run both people to the bottom to try and challenge that. I hope they only sent one person bottom, which it looks like they did. But challenging this is not going to work out. Oh, maybe the laser can delay. He's got to retarget that. Retarget the laser, Tychus! Oh no! Oh no. And that is the game, folks. Wow, that was beatdown. I guess they didn't even need that tower. They still have one tower to take on their game. So, wow. Okay, that was one of the worst beatdowns I've ever casted in Chair League, and this includes some of the placement matches. I'm sorry, LeafGreen. That was, boy. I mean, thank you both teams for showing up. And I mean, the Zarya, the changed Malfurion, maybe LeafGreen was caught off guard. They didn't have too much practice against that, so I can't be too harsh on them about that. And they did fix their Zool rotation problem from the same map last week around. So, you know, good job on them for improving that. And I mean, Chair League is a place where we just want to see improvement, where we want teams. We know teams aren't pro teams in Division 2, so just every game is a learning opportunity. And as long as they can take away something from this, fix something they want to work on next time against their next opponents, then I'm sure they'll do better. And they can focus on that to kind of take away the positives from this game. Maybe they can even try this kind of comp themselves. I mean, I did see when I was watching Grubby, the day Zarya was released, he did try, when he was successful, he did, I think, have another shielder and a healer like Oriole on his team. So yeah, I guess they just threw a curveball at LeafGreen, and you know, they did take that one victory down bottom in the bottom fight, which I didn't think they were going to be able to do, and they did that. So, you know, good job on them for that. And other than that, there unfortunately isn't that much to analyze about this game. It all came down to about all the cheese that came out and Illidan. all the shields that came out and Illidan, and how, you know, it's a twist on a very old formula, right? The Superman Illidan strat. We even have a name for it. It used to be things like Uther, Divine Shield, and Tassadar, or, you know, well, really, those are the two big ones. So, and even Rhaegar, when, you know, he was at his most powerful, you could pair him and Tassadar on Illidan and he would be unkillable. So, and as long as you don't have a plan to deal with that, it is super unlikely that you're going to win. Now, there wasn't a whole amount of lockdown they could have used on Illidan as well, and that's part of the problem, and that's why the Illidan pick was so smart. And anyway, I will look forward to following these teams again next week, probably. Congrats again to Obsidian Gaming, very well drafted and played. You know, even though they had a huge draft advantage, clearly, they still didn't play that sloppy, except for that one fight bottom where they might have overstayed. They fought when they didn't need to. They just played it perfectly. So, and with such changed heroes, they didn't have much time to practice them. Congrats to them, very well played. Anyway, my name is Dualistic. If you like my cast, please hit the follow button. This game will be posted on the YouTube channel tonight. My YouTube channel info is in the info page at the bottom of the screen. And make sure you subscribe there if you want to see more. And I will be casting a game tomorrow, and it'll be a Division 1 match tomorrow. Let me just quickly check the time for you. Tomorrow's cast will be at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So tune in if you want to watch some Division 1 action. The last Division 1 game I casted was much closer, and it was on Battlefield of Eternity, and the the team that was behind did manage to come back a bit into the game until one of their players disconnected. So make sure you tune in for that tomorrow. Thank you very much, viewers, for watching. Thank you to the players for playing, and I will see you again soon.